Alright, Piss and Vinegar Day 103, Arm Wrestling Day. So, funnily enough, I thought when I started this series that people would not have any interest in arm wrestling at all. They'd be like more interested in the bodybuilding stuff. But, lo and behold, actually, my arm wrestling videos get the most views by quite a large margin. So I guess there's a bunch of arm wrestlers watching my videos once a week who are like, yeah, here it is, the arm wrestling day, and then the rest of the week is like maybe a few dudes who are like, cool, the bodybuilding. But I mean, that's fine, that's all good. Or maybe it's a mix of both, I don't know, maybe it's just coincidence, but it's definitely true that my arm wrestling videos get a lot more views, and that's fine. I love arm wrestling, so just thought that was interesting. I never would have thought that to be the case. And again, today, the side pressure, as per usual. Last week was the third or the fourth week in a row of side pressure, and that's like in a month. On the third week, typically, that's when my side pressure gives out. I can't train it that week. I have to take a week off, and then the next week I resume it. I'm way back to it, and I'm like fucking pumping out the weight that I couldn't even touch the last week. I was like easily doing 5 sets of 5. So I don't know what it is. It just needs, sometimes it needs a week off, and then it comes back way stronger. So up to like 43 kilos for an easy 5 sets of 5. It'll be interesting to see what my 1 rep max on my side pressure will be at the end of this bulking cycle. I could easily see it being 60 plus kilos, and I'd be incredibly happy with that. And then I'd really like to go down to Penrith or, my nearest arm wrestling gym or, practice area and kind of just test this side pressure out, see if it holds, see if it does anything, see if anybody's impressed, or if I'm impressed, or if it's actually just not enough to make up for my shitty little hands. Whoa, that was some crazy facial expression. And then, today I wanted to talk East versus West. So I'm in Australia. I think as of this recording, East versus West is in like 5 hours, but I'm not going to be up for it because I got to go to church in the morning, and I just can't stay up that late, or I can't get up that early either because I'm up pretty late. So I'm going to miss it, unfortunately, but I'm sure tomorrow I'll try to avoid as many spoilers as I possibly can so I can watch it. I'll get the pay-per-view and watch it when it's not live. But I wanted to do predictions. Honestly, I haven't really followed the card heavily, apart from the main controversy, which is Devon Larratt versus Denis Cyplenkov. But the main three is, I think it was John Brzenk versus, what was that guy's name? Sasho Andreev or something, Andreev. I don't know just about anything about Sasho Andreev, or however you say this fella's name. I'm pretty sure he's one of those top-end inside pullers, and that's about it. That's all I've got. So I'm just going to bet on John because he's the GOAT, and I like John. So I'm hoping John wins, but honestly, wouldn't have a clue. If I had to really bet, I'd probably bet on Sasho Andreev just because by the looks of him, he looks like a freak. He looks like an absolute powerhouse. But at the same time, John just came off a win crushing Alexei, what's his name? What's that fucking guy's name? I fucking forgot these Russian dude's name. Anyway, he beat I can't remember his name. Anyway, so I'm hoping John wins. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen there because I haven't been following the card. The next one is Todd Hutchings versus Kredigali Ongarbayev, which is a very interesting match. And Todd Hutchings is my favorite arm wrestler, in maybe not personality-wise, although I love his personality. He's such a wholesome dude. Obviously, Devon's the ambassador, the charismatic guy that everyone watches. But as far as watching someone arm wrestle, Todd has Devon beat, in my opinion. He's so fucking entertaining to watch. He's so inspirational to me as a guy that hasn't got big hands, who isn't incredibly tall, in the side pressure, and that's what I've basically started to try and get, is that incredible side pressure that he has. Obviously, there's more to it than just the training side. Obviously, he has some good genetic components. He probably just has far more bone density and ligament and tendon density and strength than the average person, but that's my biggest inspiration in arm wrestling is Todd Hutchings and that incredible side pressure of his. So I'll always root for him. I always want him to win. I love how he beats dudes that weigh twice as much as him, who are half his age, who are on double the fucking gear, just with this pure, ugly side pressure, which to me is beautiful. I'm not sure with my boy Todd what's going to happen against Ongarbayev. Ongarbayev is a fucking beast. He's so technical. He's so sinewy. He doesn't look imposing. He doesn't even, I don't think like, honestly, if I had to guess, I would say that guy is natural. He doesn't even look like he lifts weights. He's just got such great technique. He's the epitome of tendon and ligaments. The guy is all tendon and ligaments. There isn't a hell of a lot of muscle in the guy's frame. I mean, there is. Don't get me wrong. He's 6'2" and he's 100 kilos. He's a big fucking guy. But compared to, people who are at the top of their weight divisions in arm wrestling, especially the heavier ends, he doesn't look even a fraction as, muscular or roided out or any of that. He's just all tendons and ligaments and technique. And his endurance is incredible, which is something that Todd Hutchings has on his side too. He has a great endurance. Not the best, like, of them all. Like, he got beat by Devon in the endurance game, but part of that is just that Devon, over time, he's so technical in himself, and he is oftentimes stronger in some ways that it just seems like he's more endurable. But I don't think people understand where Devon's endurance necessarily comes from. It's not necessarily his cardiovascular conditioning or some like incredible type 1 muscle fiber density that allows him to just go and go and go, although that might be part of it. I think part of it is he's just actually generally stronger than the person, or he's maybe a combination of all those things. But anyway, I'm digressing. Todd Hutchings has great endurance, but so does Ongarbayev. So it'll be an interesting match, and if anyone can get through that kind of sticky point that Todd has, where he kind of just dumps his wrist and he just holds you there at center, and if he gets someone to center and holds him there, they're fucked. That's it. There's no getting past that point. You have to break him off center, and then you have to basically go through his arm, and even then he's very dangerous, and it's very leverage heavy. But I think Ongarbayev has like 2 inches in height on him, so I'd imagine he has some leverage advantage, but he might not. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Todd, but honestly, I'd say it's probably 55-45 on the edge of Ongarbayev. I think he probably has a slight edge, but I really hope that Todd wins. And then the last one is the big one, which is Dennis versus Devon. And this one's interesting. Watching the press conference, fuck me, that translator was dog shit. He couldn't fucking. For any of you guys watching who are actually into the bodybuilding side of this and you don't know anything about arm wrestling, you're probably so fucking confused right now, if you're even still listening. But anyway, I'm assuming you guys are watching arm wrestling fans right now. The press conference was fucking hilarious. Like Devon being the charismatic, quick-witted, fearless, ex-fucking special forces guys he was. And he's always trying to argue with these Easterners, rather. And they can't argue back because they don't speak English, but also this time, Dennis, who's a fucking brick wall anyway, he's so boring. Not anything against him, although it's the questionable in character nowadays, ever since the death threats and all this like weird shit going on. But not only is Dennis a brick stoic wall of nothingness, the translator wasn't even really translating either side correctly. He wasn't understanding English and he was barely understanding Russian. It's like, was this guy Russian or English, or was he like fucking like? Where was this guy from? Like, I don't understand. They should have just had Ray doing it. It was fucking awful. But yeah, it's interesting, this pre-war shit, pre-arm wrestling war that they're having, where Devon's calling Dennis gay and Babkin gay. It's fucking funny as shit. Babkin seems like an evil fuck. Devon's cool. Dennis is cool. I don't know what's going to happen on the table. Honestly, everyone seems to be not hugging fucking Devon, but I see this being pretty close, 50-50, especially now Devon seemingly has taken like a moral high ground where he's jumped off the gear almost to increase his victory better, because his criticism of Dennis is that he's having to cycle for so long for these matches, where I feel like Devon has almost jumped off the gear in order to take a moral victory of sorts and like increase his win even more, because Devon loves to increase his win as much as he can. He wants his victory to be as big as possible. Part of that big victory would be potentially to be natural for this, or less enhanced for this match, which would then enhance his victory over the Ivan Drago roid muncher that Denis Cyplenkov is, who's just doesn't give a shit. His kidneys have blown out like 3 times now. Anyway, I'm going way over the video point now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Piss and Vinegar. Bye-bye.